Okay. All right. Testing. Okay. I'm happy to be back. Happy to be back with you. Chit-chatting again.
Welcome back.
I know, right? Welcome back to you too. Okay. So we're on. I want to start it with this here. Okay. We're in Romans right now. That's what we have. That's what the Holy Spirit put in our hearts. So you have Romans 8:1. So what you have there?
Okay. It says, there is therefore now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus, for the law of the Spirit of life has set you free in Christ Jesus from the law of sin and death.
Okay, and then I'm going to read Romans 8:28.
Yeah.
And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to His purpose. And
Great.
yes, of course, it's always good to read through the whole chapter. If you got the time, always good to read through that entire. All of Romans is beautiful. So, but we wanted to use those verses because we're going to talk about our story, how we met, how do we end up here, and
Yeah.
there's some ups and downs along that journey. That's for sure. I got my notepad.
Our love story.
Our love story. It's beautiful. The way that the Lord has brought it all the way here.
Yeah.
From what we went through, where it started, and I'm just grateful to be here. And I got my notepad.
Yeah.
Make sure I got
I think we've been together for 8 years now.
8 years.
Married for almost 4.
Yeah, married almost 4.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's a long time.
It is. For us, it is a long time. It is a long time for us.
I think for a lot of people, like our age, I'd say that's a pretty long
that is a long
relationship.
Yeah. We're both 27. So
And we met when we were 18.
met when we were 18. So yeah, almost a decade.
Almost a full decade.
All right. So here we go. 2015. I graduated high school. All right.
I too graduated high school.
You also graduated high school 2015, right? So that is the truth. So here we go. I graduated high school. You graduated high school. I don't know you exist. I don't know you exist. It's 2015. I'm thinking to myself, at this point in time, right? I'm thinking, actually, I'm not as confident at this point in time. I'm feeling stressed. I'm feeling anxious because my grades weren't very good in high school. They were okay. They got me through. I graduated on time, but prospects for college or my academics, what I was going to do in the future, I wasn't really sure. And my guidance counselors, and they were like, you should look into going to college. So I looked around and I found a place, and I got accepted into the college. So that's where I ended up deciding to go.
Yeah. Do you want me to say how I ended up there too?
Yeah, how'd you end up there?
Okay. Well, I guess you and I were similar in the sense that I didn't know what I wanted to do either. Except I was a pretty good student. So I did pretty well with grades, but I was kind of obsessed with grades. Like it was just a marker to meet. Didn't really mean that much to me. It was like, okay, well, I got an A. All right.
Yeah.
And then I was actually the last person in my senior class to decide really officially where I was going to go to school. Everybody had kind of already decided.
Yeah.
And because we had to let our dean know.
Right.
So that they were going to make an announcement. But I didn't know where I was going to go, and it came down to, I knew I wanted to be somewhere near family because I was really scared at the time to truly branch out on my own. So I was looking for someplace in Virginia. So there's a lot of schools in Virginia.
Oh, yeah.
And my family was familiar with Virginia Wesleyan, so I applied, and they did give me a nice scholarship, so that's how I decided to go.
That's right.
Money. Just kidding. It was also really close to the beach, and my family lived in the area. So
right, yeah. VWC, Virginia Wesleyan College, and turned into eventually Virginia Wesleyan University, VW. That's where we met. That's how we met. Boom. So we're there. What was our meet cute? What was it? Okay, no, I remember.
Our what?
Our meet cute. That's what they say in the movies, right?
Oh, yes. Our meet cute.
Okay, meet cute. Okay. Here we go. Meet cute is freshman year. I think we'd been there a few months already. Yeah. I hadn't met you. I was talking.
We had mutual friends.
Yeah, we did have mutual friends.
But I never actually met you.
I didn't meet you. Yeah. I wonder if we ended up walking past each other.
I feel like it wasn't that big of a campus.
It's not that big of a campus. We probably walked past each other, didn't even realize it was you. So, all right. So it's a dorm room, and I leave my dorm room with my fellas, with some of my friends, and we're getting ready to go to a party. I can't remember if it was off campus or on campus, but we're getting ready. We're like, hey, let's go. Let's go on this town. Let's touch a road, right? So we get out there, and we're like, okay, let me just go over here. I gotta go talk to some of the ladies, X, Y, and Z. One of my friends. So they go over there, and I go with them. I'm like, okay, I've never been over to that village, that dormitory area. So we go over there, go upstairs, and you're there. No, hold on. They open the door. They go to meet who they wanted to meet.
Just in the hallway.
Right. Okay, so we go in. We go in downstairs.
Yeah.
We go to the first dorm. They had to talk to this other girl about something. They were like, hey, you doing X, Y, and Z? You coming to this, that, and the third? I'm just standing there like, hey, how's it going? I'm Grant. Okay, boom. All right. They're done with that. They go up to the next room. Okay, then there's another person right there. That's the other girl that was trying to talk to. Say, hey, how's it going? Y'all going to the X, Y, and Z? Y'all doing this? What's the plan for y'all tonight? And then, we're chit-chatting, boom, bing. And, okay, they get the plan. They talked about what they needed to talk about. They're like, okay, we out. We going where we need to go, right? We're about to go to the party. And then I see y'all. I'm like, hey, I'm Grant. How's it going, y'all? And that's where I see you.
I thought you knocked on my door.
No, I didn't knock on your door. I think the door might have been open.
Okay, well, you came by my room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because y'all were in there. There was some people in the room, so.
Yeah, because me and my roommate were getting ready to go out.
Yeah. I'm sure y'all were getting ready to go out somewhere, too. So y'all were in there, and I said, hey to y'all, I'm Grant, and I saw you, and that was pretty much it. I don't really think, for me, honestly, I don't know if there was any sort of initial, wow, that's my wife.
I didn't have that.
That didn't happen for me. And I think you may have been with somebody else at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Poor decisions.
Honey.
We're young.
Everybody's young. And it's all right. That's all right. So anyway, you were somebody else at the time. So I said, hey to y'all. How's it going, y'all? And that was pretty much it. I saw y'all. I thought y'all were pretty, of course. And I was like, okay, that's it. They were out already at that point. While I was still saying,
and I think I was like confused. And I think they're leaving you.
Yeah, they were like, they had left. I'm like, hey, my name is Grant. Yeah, how's it going, everybody?
Typical Grant.
Oh, they're gone. Okay.
All right, gotta go.
All right, that's pretty much it. That's how we ended up meeting. It was like, what is that? Probably like 10 p.m. at night before the clubs getting ready to open. Pretty much is what that was. That was a lifestyle, and that was our meet cute. That was a meet cute.
Yeah.
That
was fun.
That was fun. So after that, my goodness.
Check your notes.
I got my notes right here. After that, it
was a long time ago, so yeah.
It was. I just want to make sure I got it right. So the whole first semester goes by.
Yeah.
And I see
you're just kind of hanging around.
Yeah, I'm just kind of hanging around with friends. I see you sometimes. You're with some of the mutual friends. I'm somewhere else. So we don't really know each other that well. It's like, hey, how's it going? You're Simone. I'm Grant. It's like, hey, that's pretty much it. What did you think of me at that time?
Well, I think I was just more intrigued by you. I was really shy. At that time, and really reserved, and I would kind of latch on to people who had much stronger personalities than me, and sometimes there were situations that I was uncomfortable with, but since I didn't really have much confidence at the time, I didn't know how to exit a situation that I didn't want to be in. And I always noticed that you did. Like anytime things got a little rambunctious or a little wild for you, you were just like right. But sometimes you didn't even announce you were leaving. I would just look up and see you just walking out of the room.
I would, yeah.
And then a few minutes later, everybody's like, "Where's Grant?"
Yeah. I would have been out.
And I always just kept thinking, you did that a couple of times. How I wish I could just get up and leave with you. Not even in a romantic, I like him and want to leave with him. Just, I wish that I can be as confident to just leave this room when I wanted.
Okay.
And I always really admired that about you.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought about you at the time. I appreciate
that. You know, what I thought about you is that I noticed that there was a difference in the way that you carried yourself. And from a lot of, girls from at the time, the young women that I had met at that time, whether it was in high school or even that first year in college, you had a different way that you carried yourself. There was a certain level of elegance, I'd say, about you that I saw at the beginning. We were both, like, freshman year is rough for a lot of people.
It is.
It is rough.
You're new. It's different.
I'm not saying we were all polished, well put together, but it was something about you that I saw that was still different, even though we weren't all making the best decisions in all these different friend groups and stuff like that. So that's what I noticed about you. You stood out to me specifically. So yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So after that, freshman year, the whole first semester goes by.
Yeah.
And we don't really talk too much. Maybe towards like the last month, I think.
No, it was like halfway through the second semester. Are you talking about second semester?
I'm talking about maybe when we started to gain interest in each other, like.
Yeah, I don't think it was until the next semester.
You're right. All that whole first semester goes by.
Yeah.
And that was it.
That old
it was just
first semester situation
friends.
with me ended. So, yeah.
That's right. That situation didn't end after that first semester. And then second semester starts after that. We come back. And I think now, first semester had hair. Had a lot of hair on top.
Had a lot of hair.
And I had dyed my hair. See, because this is some background. I had gone through a breakup with my first girlfriend that I had ever had.
Yeah.
Senior year of high school. Okay. And we broke up and I was confused and I was like, I thought we was in love. I thought this and that, So that's what I was thinking at the time. I was 17, 18 years old. So that's what I was thinking. I was like, I spent that summer with a lot of my friends.
The first cut is the deepest.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
That's what it took me a minute. I can't believe I fell into that cliche, but I did. I really did. So
it happens.
It happens. So I would advise against it. If you can make better decisions than I did.
You were young.
Yeah. It happens. So,
I didn't date at all in high school. So.
Hey, I would also advise against that as well. I would not.
You would advise against not dating in high school?
No, I think I would advise against dating in high school.
Yeah, no, I said I didn't date in high school.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing. Yep. Anywho, so I just want to give some background. That's where I was mentally at the time.
Okay.
And then we go on, freshman year, second semester. Now we're headed into 2016.
Yeah, 2016.
Because that's after. Yeah, that's when that second semester starts at the beginning of the new year. 2016. Okay, so we get back. All that hair I had dyed and stuff because I was emotional.
You also relaxed it.
I also had relaxed it.
First semester,
I had relaxed
you
my
let
head.
Someone perm your hair.
I had got a perm. And then y'all like straighten my hair out.
I did that, and you look like Johnny Bravo.
Johnny Bravo.
That was fun.
That was hilarious. I wish I had pictures of that. So, okay, then after that, I get back. I'm like, you know what? It had damaged my scalp.
Yeah.
It was on fire, so I had to cut it all. Okay, it was real low. It was like a number one, maybe lower than number one. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna pierce my ears. Anyways, that goes by, and I get back, and I think that was the moment.
Yeah, I thought you looked really cute.
Because I think I came back and I got a pea coat from Express.
You had just like completely revamped. And that sounds a bit shallow on my end, but yeah, you had like completely cut off all your hair. I don't know what happened. Your jawline got more pronounced.
It did. I had like changed. I gone through a little more puberty because I was late bloomer. So
well, guys don't like stop blooming until like mid-20s. So you were actually still within normal.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But yeah.
That was what it was for you?
Yeah. Because you took this picture in front of like something in some science. Grant, what are you doing? In some science building.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I noticed that you had changed.
Okay. See? Okay, so it worked. That was my goal.
That was not your goal.
Let me think. What's my goal? Now, my main goal was
you made it very clear
hair.
that you weren't interested in me.
Even then?
You just said that you weren't.
No, that was the beginning. That was first semester, freshman year.
I know, but you didn't cut your hair to get my attention.
For your attention. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, I did not do that. Right?
No.
I think I did that in general because I wanted more attention from women in general.
Yeah, from just girls in general.
Because in high school it wasn't like that for me, so that was something that mentally I had to let go of, but at the time I hadn't. So yeah, I did it for the wrong reasons. Yeah, it wasn't for me. It was for...
It was a little bit for you. You said your head hurt.
Right. Okay, yeah, my head did hurt. So it was part of it was for me. But mainly it was more so focused on how much attention can I get from women, which also is not, I wouldn't recommend that either. Okay, so now it's springtime. And I'm starting to think you look good too. That's what I'm thinking. And especially the more we get to talking and the more I get to know you, I'm starting to think, she's really special. That's what I'm thinking. And so I'm trying to flirt with you. You flirt with me a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that's where things really start to kick off for us. Mm-hmm. And it starts off, wow, I remembered.
What?
It was a rocky start. See, because this was before I was saved. And I knew of the Lord, but I didn't know Jesus personally for myself. Mm-hmm. See, and this was a moment where I really had to be real. Because I think that I made a lot of mistakes. So, you wanted to wait till marriage.
I did.
You did. And that, I think, is beautiful. And at the time, I wasn't in the right headspace at all. Spiritually, mentally, and I didn't want to wait. And that moment there was where I decided to say, hey, I don't think this is going to work out. And, once I really learned that and found that out more so that you were 100% serious about that, I made a horrible decision by saying, no, this isn't going to work out. I don't want to, go down this road. I don't want to do this because in my head, I envisioned that I'm a young man. I'm supposed to be with as many women as possible. And this is just what it's supposed to be. So, yeah, we end up going on a break. And once I got back to my room that day.
Oh, well, I guess not really a break. We weren't really dating yet.
Yeah,
so
we weren't even
we just sort
dating.
It just ended.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, and I just want to be honest with that because that's real. That's real. And I got back and I recognized that I had made a horrible decision. I really felt a lot of dread over the fact that, wow, I just said that out of my mouth to her. And I was just, I couldn't even face anybody, really. I really did hide in my room.
Really?
And then in my dorm room for some time, yeah. Because I was like, I just said that everybody's going to find out. And now, what do I look like? I look like everybody else. And I thought I wasn't like everybody else. But that's why I really found out the truth about myself at that time. So, yeah. Well, what was your end of that?
Well, I knew I just had to tell you that pretty early on to see where you were at. I had already assumed. I mean, I'm in college. I knew that most guys were not going to want to be a part of that decision of waiting till marriage. So, but I will say I did think that you would have responded differently just because you already acted differently than some of the other guys. You're very kind and very sweet, and like a gentleman. And I was like, oh, well, maybe he will respond differently. So I was a little surprised, but I didn't hold it over your head. I just sort of assumed that, okay, well, it is college. He's 18, or I guess 19 at the time. Yeah. That's just his decision, and that's, his decision. Yep. I was sad because I was like, oh, I really liked him. But that was something that was really important to me. And funny, I ended up finding, I think you gave me like a bracelet or something. And I was just going to return it to you. Yeah. So I ended up going over to your dorm, and then I gave you that bracelet back.
Yeah, you did.
Actually, I don't actually remember what happened after that.
No, what happened after that was that I told you that I was sorry.
Okay.
For the way I responded and the way I acted after we had that serious conversation about, hey, that's where you wanted to go, and then it puts me in a situation to say, okay, am I going to stay at that time? And I believe I just said sorry, and after that, I was really remorseful, for sure. And then we didn't talk for some time after that. Really, we didn't talk for some time after that. I was just like, thanks for bringing it back, pretty much. And after you left, I was like, wow, I really blew it. It was pretty short. It wasn't long exchange at all, really. After that, you left, and I just realized I blew it. I'm like, wow, this is really who I am. I'm really finding out this is me, with no parents around, no friends around, to make these decisions for me. It's just me as an adult. So that's where I was. And then we started talking a little bit again.
Yeah. Did you end up changing your mind?
I did end up changing my mind.
Like, it was pretty much the end of that semester, though.
It was the end of that freshman.
Like, we were moving out.
Yeah, we were pretty much, everything's packing up, everything's leaving, and we're still, like, not really on the best of terms, which is understandable, And I'm glad that you were firm there. I'm really happy that you were, because it was like, hey, we still like each other, but, you're going to have to get some things in order. And I really did appreciate that. So I still hadn't found Jesus Christ for myself at this time.
No, you still weren't saved yet.
Still wasn't. Man, if only I could go back. My goodness. So then after that, we go into summertime. Everybody's left. And, okay, then I get a job working at Amazon.
Yeah.
And I'm working the 4 p.m. to 4 a.m. shift.
Overnight.
Yeah. I didn't really talk or text anybody. I was texting you a little bit. And then,
like, here and there, yeah. But you were probably exhausted, from that shift. So, because then you would sleep, during the day,
sleep pretty much during the day, and we, I didn't really know where we stood, really. And
no, we didn't know that.
I didn't want to, talk to you that seriously, because especially with how I acted. So over the summertime, I didn't really talk to many people. So that was it. Then we get back. Then after that summer ends, that's 2016.
Yeah.
2016, startup of sophomore year.
Yeah.
Going into sophomore year. Now, this is when I decided to say, hey, I want to get more serious. And I wanted to really show you that, hey, I want to take this seriously. So I asked you on a date.
Yeah.
And foolishly enough, it was to a Tory Lanez concert.
Tory Lanez concert. Why? And I did not listen to Tory Lanez.
No, you didn't. I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad you don't today. Why I thought that would have been a good idea, I have no idea. But
well, you like to go to concerts, so
that's right.
Maybe you just thought it'd be fun.
Yeah, I thought it'd just be something fun. And it was a Tory Lanez concert at the Norva. And what I didn't know is that God was, at that time, He was working. He truly was protecting you, and through you, protecting me too. So we get to the Norva, we get there, and the concert's been canceled.
Yeah.
Concert's been canceled.
And you didn't get any notification.
Didn't get any notification. I don't know if there was any emails exchanged. When we get there, nobody's there, and I go in to ask I guess it was a bouncer or somebody who worked at the venue. He's like, yeah, that concert was canceled, man. So I come out and I'm nervous. I'm kind of like sweating a little bit because we're in Norfolk at that point, and I'm trying to figure out how to salvage this first date. I had saved up all this money from Amazon. It's a couple of $100 I got. I'm spending it on parking here, spending it on parking there, and I'm thinking, okay, let's just go back to the parking deck. We're near Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
And you saved my life at this moment.
I did.
Because we were about to walk in. We were going up to a crossing walk.
Yeah.
And I'm waiting to cross. And
I think you're just nervous.
they're so nervous.
Yeah.
I start stepping out and there's a truck coming.
Yeah.
And you pull me back. And
saved your life.
You saved my life there. I'll never forget that. So then we hop in the car and we go to Virginia Beach.
Yep. The waterfront.
You remember the restaurant we went to?
No. I still don't remember the name of this restaurant. I could probably point it out if I saw it.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But I have no idea. Because we went to one restaurant. Mm-hmm. They were busy.
Yeah.
And then they said, oh, we have a sister restaurant.
That's right.
You just got to go further down.
Just
and so we did.
Down. We did.
And they were free.
Ooh.
Okay, we got the crab dip.
We got the crab dip. We're eating, we're talking, we're chit-chatting, and it's going well. Yeah. Talking about, hey, how'd the summer go? You know, how you know, anything interesting coming up for you this semester? We got life plans, and we're eating chip dip, and I go to dip a chip, and then you're dipping your chip, and then boom, you smack the chip out of my head.
Yeah.
Smack the chip out of my head.
No, I think you tried to hand me one, and then I smacked it. By accident.
The thing flew across onto the floor or something like that. That was funny. So then after that,
and I think that dinner was when I asked you about like
where I was.
Did you believe in God?
Yes.
Yeah.
This was the fork in the road in my life, really, is when I met you, because I was raised in the church.
Yeah.
But my grandpa was a pastor. My great-grandpa was a pastor.
Yeah.
But as a child, I didn't really listen to them for myself. Mm-hmm. I was just there because my mom told me I had to come, or family members were saying I had to come, and I was upset having to go because it was interrupting other things I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Meeting you, it was truly a moment in my life where here's someone, beautiful woman, my same age, who's doing her best to live her life for the Lord, and here I am standing saying that I don't know, I really didn't know, I really didn't think God was real at all at that point. I didn't think God existed. So we're talking at the dinner table, and then I say, hey, let's go out to the beach. It's dark outside, and then we sit in the sand, and then we just start talking. Mm-hmm. And do you remember anything we talked about there?
No. I'm sorry, I don't.
No, it's okay.
I don't remember that one. I just remember when we were sitting at the table talking about faith.
Okay, it's a little
But I don't actually remember what we talked about on the beach. I just remember talking.
Yeah.
And then we left.
When we were on the beach, this is a little vague.
Okay. You remember?
I remember it was really beautiful when the water was coming up on
and there's like the algae and stuff. It was really pretty. Mm-hmm.
And it was glowing and the waves would crash. It was really quiet out there. And there weren't many people walking around. And we just continued to talk more about faith.
Okay.
Your family, my family, where I came from. And then after that, we left, and that was pretty much it. Went back to the campus, and that was it. And I don't think we went on another date or even made it official.
We made it official like that September.
Yeah.
So,
it was a little bit of time later.
But I think if I could talk a little bit about my end of things.
Please do.
I was really struggling with the fact that I really liked you.
Yeah.
But I knew that we were on different wavelengths when it came to faith. Mm-hmm. And if I'm being honest, I really just sort of pushed that aside. Wow. And I was like, well, I like him. Like, I would literally tell God that. Like, well, I like him. I want to date him. So I'm going to try and make this work. And it's going to work. So that's how I felt at the time. So yeah, that's kind of what was going on my side when we were making things official. So
okay, Okay, I see where you're coming from. Okay, so that's where we were
because
there.
I still really liked you. I just knew that was a really big part, and you just weren't there yet. I guess in a way, I thought I could get you there, and then it would just all work out.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And it just didn't necessarily go that route. It didn't go that way. Yeah, it didn't go exactly.
Not at the time.
Right, not at the time. So then we go and we end up becoming official, pretty much. And then, it's more public. People realize, hey, those two are dating, their boyfriend and girlfriend, however you want to say it.
I don't think I really ever referred to you as my boyfriend.
No, I don't think.
I don't know why. I would just always say I'm dating Grant.
Yeah.
Or I'm with Grant.
Right.
But I don't think I have told anyone.
Right.
Officially, like, oh, that's my boyfriend.
Yeah. I don't think I said. I might have said girlfriend, but
maybe
never
it's like
to
family
you or like to anyone around, but maybe here and there. So everything was relatively good at first, and things are going great. Just out public and just telling people, hey, we can be holding hands and stuff like that, and it's just dating is what I thought. But I see that's what's so interesting, because on the surface things can look like one way, but internally it can be a battle. And I did not help you to honor the Lord with our actions. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. I led you and myself to sin. Ultimately. And it caused turmoil. That's what it caused.
Well, I also wasn't willing to. I thought at the time that I was pretty much just selfish. Like, I knew what the standard I had set, what God's standard was.
Right, wait till marriage, yeah.
I think my mom always used to tell me, like, the bad touches and stuff are usually, like, easier to spot, but when you actually have feelings for someone, it can make things more difficult.
Right.
And it was at the time. So.
Yeah. And that's what's interesting, because sin never leads to restoration. It never leads to recovery. It never leads to peace. It never leads to stability. Anything. Yeah. It just caused turmoil in our relationship. So there was a night where you asked me, and it was specific. It was more so, why don't you believe in God? What do you believe in? And at the time, my answer was to you, well, I don't really believe God exists at all. There is no God. I believe at the time, when you die, that's just it. It's like when you were born. It's just like when you're born, you don't remember when you're born. Okay, boom, you're going to live your life, do whatever you want to do. When you die, same exact thing. So do whatever you want to do while you're here. There's nothing that in the Bible, none of that's real. I was thinking there was crusades with the Bible, and they used the Bible to kill people. So why would I believe in that? Why would I believe in something where they're using it as a weapon? That was my reasoning at the time. So I explained, if I had to believe in something, I just made something up. It was like I had seen some sort of dreams or visions or something, like I just would make it up. I don't know if it was from movies or pop culture. Probably maybe. Was influenced by, but I would see myself in this darkness, and there would be beings, and they'd be large.
Yeah, that sounds like a movie.
Yeah, pretty much. I probably just based my...
Like sci-fi.
Yeah, the answer off some sci-fi movie that I saw, and that's what I thought was, if there has to be anything, it's probably something like that, but not whatever's in the Bible. That's what I believed at the time. But you posed to me, you said, okay, well, no, that was, well, basically, you talked to me about faith, and you're breathing, but you can't see the air that you're breathing.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I was like, okay, that's a good point, but I don't think religion's for me. That's where I was coming from. You're like, well, faith isn't a religion. Or the Bible, Jesus Christ isn't a religion. And what did you mean by that?
I just meant that the focus isn't like your religion in the legalistic way, like going to church, doing all the good things. It's more of the relationship with Jesus and that intimate communication, that realization that he saved you, that he died for you, and that you get to have a relationship with the person who saved you and died for you and made you. And through that acknowledgement, you get access to God the Father. And it's more about just walking through life with Jesus, not feeling like you have to do certain things to reach Jesus or to keep your salvation or do any of that. It's just a daily walk.
And
just like how you are with me.
Exactly. And you told me that at the time, or at least something similar.
Yeah, probably less eloquent because I was real young. But
right.
Yeah.
But I understood it just the same way I understand it now. And that was the first moment where I truly listened to someone when they spoke to me about Jesus Christ, where I listened, where my heart was open, and I was open to receive what you were saying. Beforehand, when people would have told me that, I would have been like, that's just something that my grandparents do. That's just something that my parents do.
Yeah.
My mom does, or older people. But this is the first time a peer is really, you were the first peer to really instill this and tell me this, where I listened.
Okay.
And yeah, I definitely have never forgotten that. That was really important. So
yeah, I'd say that's probably like the beginning
stages.
Yeah.
For me, yeah. So time goes on. We're still dating. And
it's still 2016.
2016. We're getting up to winter session 2016. At this point, because sin is still in our relationship at this point.
Yeah.
Ultimately. And it's definitely my fault. I'm definitely gonna claim that. If I would have.
But I couldn't. That's not even fair because I was the one that was claiming to be a Christian.
Oh, okay.
It's like in the Bible, you can't hold a non-believer to the standard that they didn't sign up for. And I'd say at that time, I'd say that was on me not being more sturdy and putting up more boundaries for myself.
I see where you're coming from.
Yeah. So I don't actually think it was your fault at that time because there would have been no way for you to even do that if you weren't even subscribing to the same belief as me. So.
I see what you're saying. I do want to take that one step further.
Okay.
See, at the time, as a young man, what I would kind of tell myself now.
Okay.
Right? If I could talk back then, if I see myself at this age, talking in the past to myself. As a young man, knowing what you said, knowing your standards, knowing what you set for yourself, I still should have respected that. I still should have honored that.
Yeah. Okay.
Even if I didn't believe what you believe, you explained it to me. I listened to you, and I truly wanted to say, "Hey, I love you," because at that time, I'm pretty sure I told you I love you. At that time,
I think you said that. Yeah,
we were definitely getting more serious, and out of respect for you, out of honor for you, right? As a young man, that's what I should have done, even if I didn't believe the same thing as you at the time.
Just going based off of what I said, you wish you would have respected that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I wish.
A bit more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's one step further that I'll take that. So then we go on and we end up having to take a break.
Yeah.
Because it's not what's going on is not good. We're not honoring God with what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we end up taking a break, and we don't talk during winter session. During the winter break.
Yeah.
Between 2016 2017, and I'm sending you subliminals on my Snapchat.
Oh, Snapchat.
I'm trying to, play some sad music on my Snapchat story, trying to, not send it to you directly, but, let you know I'm...
But, I know.
That's not trying to do. I mean, I'm just being real. I'm just being real. You know what I'm saying? Heartbroken, heart confused, upset with myself. And at that time, during that period in my time, that was the first time I ended up opening up the Bible when we weren't talking. Really? On my own to really...
Like on your own to like look into... Really?
I was thinking to myself, if she's willing to stop talking to me, to break up with me, for us to go through this pain that, let's call this, we're not doing this right. Let me see what she's talking about. Let me open up the Bible. So I go to Google and I'm looking up, is this true in the Bible? Is this king mentioned in the Bible? Is this accurate? And Google's coming back to me with, this is accurate. The Holy Bible is one of the most accurate texts ever written. This king lived here. This king that's written about in Egypt here, you can find we found his coffin here. This dates back to here. And I was like, wow, I'm on Google looking this up and I'm reading the scripture at the same time. And, I think even at that time, I might have been crying at that time because it was just emotional for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm starting to recognize all of what I had thought is being shattered. My life's view is being shattered because what is this? What is the Holy Bible? So that's what was really starting to strike my heart. Mm-hmm. So we get back, and I still hadn't given my life to Jesus Christ at this point. I still hadn't.
Not yet.
We get back and we have a long talk, and I believe we don't get back together officially at first when junior year comes up.
No, when the second semester.
That's right, not junior year.
Of our sophomore year.
Second semester, sophomore year, 2017. Yeah. So we talk, and we end up getting back together some weeks after we get back. Do you remember anything from your end?
Oh, yeah. I was having lots of conversations with my parents about, pursuing a relationship with someone who was not claiming to be a Christian. And dealing with like this term, it's called, like in the Christian community, it's called like missionary dating, where you're trying to be a missionary in your relationship. Like
I haven't heard that before.
I grew up in church my whole life, so yes, that term was tossed around like that's the big no, you shouldn't do that,
right?
Because more times than not, you would swing the other way rather than them getting saved. So they were really just challenging me on that at the time. Like, is this, this is something to really think about? And this is the faith that you're proclaiming. And do you think that this is the right decision at where he's at this time? And it was really tough because I did not want to do that. And then also, given the fact that we were not honoring God,
right,
that really muddies the water.
It does.
I'd say especially for like females, because you start to get really blinded to certain things. You start to convince yourself of things, and it's harder to sort of break away. I think one of my parents used the example of like Velcro separating, and that like sounds like kind of difficult. That's what it felt like. I really didn't want to do it, but like we did it, and then we get back to school, and then it's like I still think I can make this work. Just because I really wanted to be with you.
Right. And I really wanted to be with you too at that point.
Yeah.
That's what was making things so challenging for me on my end. I loved you.
Yeah.
And I still love you today. And I think at that time at that time, I was so, lust was also really affecting my view of our relationship. Lust, and of course I was being influenced by Satan ultimately, because I didn't have the Holy Spirit at that time. So definitely Satan was a large influence for me at that time.
Yeah. That was also, I just remember that was a really tough winter break just for home reasons. And then like coming back, it was there were just like some personal things that ended up having some shared overlaps with our relationship.
Right.
And it really started to make me question things and, you know, see like what was I willing to, you know, be okay with or not be okay with.
Exactly. So we go forward through in that relationship, and this is still sophomore year, second semester, 2017. Getting a little months and months, and we're getting closer to the end. And the conversation topic of what I struggle with, and with, you know, many men struggle with, is
a lot of
pornography.
People. Yeah,
pornography is what really had a chokehold on me at the time, and I was trying to figure out how to justify it, which is so crazy. Even thinking back on that now, but I was trying to figure out how to justify it. Like, if I didn't look at it, if this happened, then I wouldn't be a man, or I wouldn't be able to do X, Y, and Z. And that's what I was thinking at the time, and that's what the world was telling me, you know, that there's nothing wrong with pornography. But let me tell you, I'm going to be the first to tell it, and I'm going to be first to tell it openly. And I hope many other men and many other women out there say the same thing, that it will kill you.
Yeah.
Ultimately, pornography will kill you.
Yeah.
And it was killing me. It was killing me. It was destroying my mind. It was destroying and distorting my view of men and women.
Yeah.
And that was a stronghold that Satan would use in my life to affect our relationship and affect the relationships of anybody else that I would just engage with. Even just talking to other men and women, my mind was just warped.
Yeah.
So I was definitely addicted at that time, for sure. And
well, that's the whole point of it. It's supposed to like ensnare people into this like spiral of shame and spiral of like, you know, everybody does it, but also don't talk about it because there's a level of, you know, embarrassment or shame that comes with it. So you don't talk about it.
Right.
So now you're isolated. But then also everybody's doing it. So if you say you do bring it up, like, you can't judge anybody because like everybody does it. But its sole purpose is really just to distort what God created, which is something beautiful like sex and intimacy, and turn it into something, you know, perverted. Exactly. So that, and it ruins a lot of marriages, and it ruins a lot of relationships, and that's like the whole point too.
Yes, it does. It just seems so normal to me at the time. It was just something normal, like you just said. Exactly like what you said. It was just normal. It was just culturally acceptable.
Yeah.
That this is just what people do, especially in our age bracket.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with it. And that's what had a chokehold on me too, because it was trying to justify sin. So that's where ultimately I ended up finding the root cause to why I wasn't able to honor you and respect you and just take heed to what you wanted to do, which was wait until marriage. And man, that's what it was. It really affected me. So we go on, and 2017, we getting to the end of second semester sophomore year. And I think going into that summer, if I'm not mistaken, we take another break.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. And this one is far more serious. Now what's interesting at the time is that I just remembered this. I had also started going to church with you more as well.
Yes, throughout that. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's during that sophomore semester, second semester.
Yeah, springtime.
I started going to church with you more often. And it was in Virginia Beach. And that's where that pastor at that church, I can't remember the name of the church.
London Bridge.
Yeah. That pastor had a similar story to me. And that was another huge moment in my life where he started talking one Sunday. I don't even remember. I can't remember.
It was around Easter.
It was around Easter.
Yeah. And if not Easter. I think it was Sunday. Easter Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah. He shared his story. And his story was so similar to mine at the point in my life that I was at, that it just struck me. it just struck me with what he was dealing with was similar things to what I was
And
dealing
you
with.
don't usually hear pastors talk about that.
No.
Openly.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah.
It was pornography for him, but I think it was something similar in regards to just adultery in general.
Yeah.
And
Or just like
sin.
maybe struggles with lust or something.
Maybe it might have been lust, something along those lines. Music.
Mm-hmm.
What do they call it? What kind of music is it called? Not conventional music. It's called contemporary music. He said he had thrown out all his CDs that were influencing him to.
Oh, I don't remember that, but he threw out the music.
Yeah, he threw out the music, like, Kiss and all these rock bands and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Because he was older. He was like 50s, 60s at the time.
Yeah.
So he had thrown that out and given his life to Jesus in his 20s, right where I was at, I think is what he said. And that stayed with me. And then we get closer to ending the semester out. We have to end up taking another break during that summertime.
Yeah.
And distance is
helps.
what really ends up helping us. And helps us later on too. So we separate and we say, okay, we can't, you bring it to me. Because I always struggle to be the one to bring it up. But you're like, we're going to take a break for a month. And I was like, okay, basically. And
no,
that's not how it went.
No, you start going to church.
That's what
that
it was.
Summer.
I went to church on my own.
Yeah, you started going to your church on your own.
2017.
And then that's when
I decided to get saved. That's right.
Yeah.
That's when I gave my life to Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I remember that day now.
Yeah, we were getting it mixed up, but
that's right.
The break came after that, but yes.
Exactly. We go through semester, we go to summertime, I give my life to Jesus Christ.
Amen.
2017, that's where things start to
like that whole build up to
whole build up to give my life to Christ. I remember that day. After that, and this is important, because we had been through a lot at that point.
Yeah.
We had been through. There was a lot of sin that was in our relationship. So there was let me say it like this: there was sin that was taking place.
Yes.
That's what I want to say. So then, gave my life to Jesus Christ, and you decided. What did you decide?
Well, you text me.
Yeah.
And you let me know. And I'm so excited. But my intentions were not the best, because I was just thinking, oh great, he's saved, we can be together happily ever after. This is all we were waiting for. And my dad actually was, more level-headed than me, and he said, why don't we give him some time to really, sit with his decision, let him just sort of marinate in it, read the word, and you give him space. Like, don't just jump right back into this relationship. I was not happy with him saying that to me, because I was like, this is what we've been waiting for. But I did it. I ended up reaching out and saying, this is great news, but why don't we take some time for like a month and a half, I don't know how long it was, and you can just be with God. And I ended up spending like the rest of that time with my family, visiting family and stuff. So
so that was exactly
that was
what
that
happened.
summer.
Then we took a break for I think it was like 2 months or so, something like that. And I ended up messing that up. I ended up texting you at a certain point in the middle, because I was thinking, I'm supposed to, I did all this, and I was thinking to myself, I was thinking wrong about it at the time. And I was thinking, you're supposed to be with me now because I love Jesus Christ and you love Jesus Christ, so we can. But that's not what needed to happen.
No,
that's not what needed to happen. My heart was speaking, but even the Lord was asking me, take it easy. Come get to know me. Come get to know me, Grant. Like, I'm Jesus Christ. Come get to know me.
Which was like the whole point of that break.
Exactly.
So.
And it was at the time I was thinking, I was all over the place. That's such a huge shift in my life. I felt different. And so that's where I was. So you brought up your parents as well. Before we go into the start of
junior
year, which is going to be 2018.
No, still 2017.
2017, that's right, 2017. Before we do that, I also met your parents for the first time during sophomore year.
You did at homecoming?
That was the third.
Was it homecoming or was it? It was some sort of festival thing.
Yeah, it was a festival or something like that, and I came up to see you and your parents as well.
You did.
That was the third. So the first was this is during sophomore year. Yeah.
You did, because that was the big catalyst.
There's 3. And now that I've said that out loud, there was 3 catalysts. And Jesus Christ rose on the third day. Jesus Christ rose on the third day.
That's amazing.
And there were 3 catalysts in my journey to get closer to Jesus Christ. Now that I just realized that. It was talking with you about the Bible. What do you truly believe? You asking me that. Going to church with you more often. And having that pastor speak on Easter Sunday in the way that you did, and then going up to see your parents.
That was the big final one, I'd say. Yeah.
And speaking with your mom and dad, but specifically your dad.
My dad, because you guys went out.
Right. And this is what I always will remember. Yeah. Because the Holy Spirit won't let me forget it. He asks me, what's been going on between you guys? And I'm honest. And he's like,
You are honest, yes.
Okay. And
I was not. And he was upset with me for that.
Right.
But I'm glad, he came around.
I was honest, I was scared, and I was sweaty.
But you were honest, and I will always respect you for that. I'm so happy that you were honest.
Thank you. Honesty is very important.
And I think you earned his respect, too, by doing that. So.
Yeah. So,
kind of.
kind of, sort of, yeah. I can understand, as a father now, I understand where he's coming from.
I love to say you are a father now.
I understand where he's coming from. And I'm so grateful for him. So, let me say, he said this. He's like, okay, so that's what happened. And then he just asked me more questions about what it is I believe.
Yeah.
And he was talking to me in practical terms. He was saying to me things along these lines, such as, Grant, you believe that Abraham Lincoln was one of the presidents of the United States? And I was thinking, well, yes. He would say, well, why do you believe that? And I was thinking, well, it's in the history books. I was taught that in my life, and it's clearly right here. He was, well, that's interesting. Okay. Well, your dad says to me, well, when you go across a bridge and you're driving a car, you're walking, do you go across that bridge, do you think about the nuts and bolts that hold that bridge together? Do you think about everything that went into making that bridge, but you just cross it, and you just think that it would just work when you go across it? I'm thinking to myself, well, yes. Okay, well, in a sense, and I can't remember this is exactly how you put it, but that's faith.
It is faith.
That's faith. You have faith in believing that the men who wrote those books about Abraham Lincoln and the pictures that you've seen and the teachers that you listen to and talk to you about that, you're having faith that Abraham Lincoln was one of those people. And I believe that's how he mentioned that for Abraham Lincoln. But he definitely laid into me in regards to faith with the bridge. Definitely laid into me with faith in regards to going across a bridge. You can't see any of those nuts and bolts. You don't know how old it is in some situations, but you go across it anyway. And it just stuck with me. I didn't fully understand what he was saying then, but of course, once I gave my life to Jesus Christ that summer in 2017, before going junior year, I started to understand exactly what he was talking about.
Yeah.
So God really covered me that summer. I was able to get some cool opportunities to be in a short feature film that filmed locally in Richmond.
Was that year?
Yep, it was that year.
Okay, yeah.
Yep, so I got to do a short feature film there. The Lord let me, I wanted to act at the time, and the Lord let me get an opportunity to do that right after I got saved, just like a half a month later.
Yeah. So, and that carried into the school year.
Yes, it did. Yep.
Yeah.
It was a paid acting job, so that was pretty cool, interesting experience that I got to see. So then we go into junior year, and we come in after not talking for a couple of weeks. I text you, and then I'm like, okay, I'm not going to talk.
Yeah, it was like it was like one day.
Yeah, okay, all right, sorry. Okay,
yeah.
I'm not going to do that. Then we go a couple more weeks not talking the rest of the summer. We get back junior year, and my goodness, I think we still end up making some mistakes.
They say a righteous man falls 7 times. and gets back up.
You're right. Amen. I think and I appreciate
and there's grace. But
never want to abuse the grace. But there was definitely on my end.
It did get better though.
It got better.
Yeah.
That's how this junior year started.
Yeah.
Started in our old ways.
Yeah.
But in the end, it transitioned into us putting up boundaries, which is what was really important.
A little bit more, but I still feel like we just didn't have. We didn't have the in-person support to really help with boundaries,
right?
And accountability,
right?
Like our parents weren't there.
Yeah.
And you're at college, so
college is a hard place. It's a hard place.
And then you're still like, and now you have deep feelings for someone. Like we were pretty serious, so
we were.
Not saying it was right, but we thank God for grace and forgiveness, and you do the next right thing, kind of. I heard that on a podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we go through junior year, and I had been convicted.
Yeah.
So that was the first time where God was really telling me that I need to get it together. I gave my life to Jesus Christ, and there's a lot of conviction from the Holy Spirit on my end, and I'm really feeling it, and I'm trying to take heed to that and listen to God and what He's asking me to do, and respect and honor Him, thus respecting and honoring you and every individual that I engage with going forward from that point on. So that's where our junior year was pretty much. We struggled to honor the Lord, but now the Lord's in the relationship.
Yeah, now there's conviction, and now there's like repentance.
Repentance for sure on my end as well. So then we continue on, and after junior year, we're still very serious.
Yeah.
And that's going into
summer of 2018.
Summer of 2018. Yeah, getting closer to 2019.
I don't actually remember that summer. My goodness.
Me neither. I don't remember that summer as much either.
I don't remember what happened.
But that's mainly all of junior year, was me trying to get my legs under me in regards to getting to learn Jesus Christ.
And also, we were like really working on rebuilding the foundation of our relationship.
That's what we needed to do. We had to start over.
Yeah, basically start over.
We had to start over. Yep.
On a whole new foundation.
Right.
So I would say like that was probably the start of the relationship that we have up until this point.
Today, yes. Yeah. It started truly again junior year.
Yeah.
To build up to where we are now.
Yeah.
So that was pretty much all of junior year. Then we're going into senior year, which that's going to be 2018 to 2019.
Yeah.
And to help with this, I believe that we end up getting more responsibility.
Yeah, we get busy. Not that busy. I'm sorry. We get busy at work. I'm sorry.
That's so funny that you said that.
I'm so sorry.
That's so funny. We decided to get more.
We get jobs.
We get jobs. Yes, we go get jobs. We get more responsibility.
More responsibility. We become RAs.
We become resident assistants of freshmen. I became a freshman for the men, for men coming in, freshmen.
And freshman girls. So
you were for freshman girls.
We both ended up in the buildings where we first started.
That was amazing.
Our freshman years.
God put us in the same building.
Same hall.
Same hall.
Same floor. It was amazing.
Same floor where we first started to then bring up.
Yeah, it's like a full circle moment.
New women coming in.
Yeah.
And it was so beautiful because he put us in positions of a small form of leadership.
Yeah.
And I did the best I could. Looking back, I could always do a better job looking back, but I did the best I could with the
I won best bulletin boards.
You did a phenomenal work.
My bulletin boards were really nice.
You get great bulletin boards every time. I was jealous of those bulletin boards.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did some things. I think I made some good connections with some of the guys.
You did.
But yeah. I think I was the guy for that time. I should have been a little bolder in helping some.
But I think
fellas.
they appreciated your realness, so that was nice.
I think they did. I was the right man for the job at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then after that,
we won homecoming court.
We ended up winning
senior for our senior class.
We were on the homecoming court.
Yes.
as time goes on, senior
we
year,
didn't actually win the king.
We didn't win king and queen.
Yeah, but they broke it up into classes.
Right. We're on homecoming court, so that was a big moment.
Yeah, that was fun.
And we're going through our senior year of college, and people are recognizing, hey, they're together, and we seeing other people around. We're still hanging out with friends, trying to make the most of it, get as much time spent with people as we can. And we're busy with jobs, so it prevents us from spending as much time together.
Yeah, that helped tremendously.
That helped a lot.
Yeah.
Just having more responsibility. Idle hands is dangerous.
Yeah.
So, working on our senior projects.
Yeah.
Going to work at our jobs, and then, hey, how's it going? You doing well? You need any help with anything? And that was pretty much it. And a small date here and there.
We would date.
At like a restaurant or something. So that really helped us. And then talking about our faith, and still making time to go to London Bridge.
Yeah.
If we weren't too busy some of those weekends.
Either that or the one on campus.
Yeah, the church on campus too. So that was really nice. And then we get to graduation. So graduation happens, and things at this time are getting a little bit sad.
Yeah.
It's exciting and sad at the same time, because I know that we made it these 4 years.
Yeah.
It's such a huge moment in your life to graduate college, undergrad, and you're excited for all your friends around. Everybody's got the grad caps on there. Everybody who made it that far, going across the stage. But then there's a moment of sadness because everybody's separating and going their own way.
Going back to their home states and
home
stuff.
states, home towns. And sometimes at colleges, they're much farther away.
Yeah.
So we end up being long distance.
Yeah.
That's the beginning of our long distance phase.
Beginning of long distance.
I remember helping you move out. Your family was there.
My whole family.
Your whole family was there, and I helped move some things out. And I remember seeing you pull off, and it was just quiet after that. A lot of people had already packed up and left. And then I packed my stuff up, and that was that.
Yeah. Then we did long distance.
From 2019 graduation.
2 full years, I would say.
Almost 2 full years, up until we got married on April 17th, 2021.
Yeah.
So some time, almost 2 full years.
No, I'd say earlier than that. Well, because you moved back up.
That's right, and we're going to get into that.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, so here we go.
Ahead.
Oh no, you're good. I'm glad we get to really put these memories down. So I'm gonna get old. I might forget. Once I
already forgot some stuff apparently.
So here we go. I'm glad we got this. Okay. So then we go in long distance. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm on my job search. You're on your job search.
Yeah.
What's the job search like for you?
Horrible. Oh, it was so bad. And then you're kind of on this ticker, because I think you don't have to start paying your student loans until 6 months after you graduate. So yeah, I'm looking. It's really hard to find a job, which is odd. They say, you need experience, but it's an entry level, so that's confusing.
Right.
And I was really angry. That summer was really, really hard. Or that summer and then some was really hard for me, because in my head, I was wrestling a lot with anxiety and panic, and thinking I did everything right academically. I got good grades. I graduated with honors. I did all that I was supposed to do, and it's not paying off. I'm not getting a job. And I remember going through a storage unit with my mom, and I'm looking at all of my graduation cords, the little cords that you get for the different honors you got, and they're just sitting there in this trunk. And I remember bawling my eyes out because in my head I'm feeling like I'm holding pretty much all my wasted potential, because I have nothing to show for it in employment, because that's the whole reason you go to school, to get a job. And I was really resentful. And then there was some other personal things happening simultaneously that were making it really difficult, emotionally and mentally, spiritually. I was really angry with God. I thought I was entitled to certain things, because I quote unquote did everything I was supposed to do, striving for perfection. And then I think one of my mom's friends told me about this opportunity to be like a server, like a waitress, but not in a restaurant. It was for special events in the city, DC. So I was like, well, I obviously need money, and they were paying really well, and it was flexible, so you can just sign up for the event that you wanted, and it was really easy. So I just picked things that were local, and it ended up being such a fun job looking back, because I got to go to so many cool buildings in the city that I never used to be able to go to, and see really fancy events and meet really cool people. Like, I got to work at the Kennedy Center Honors one time, and I got to see like Sesame Street and Earth, Wind and Fire and LL Cool J. It was so fun.
That's awesome.
But what's so funny is the building, they ended up working out of like a WeWork, and I thought at the time that was such a cool like place to be. I was like, I wonder how you get to like work here. And funny enough, I ended up finding a job at a WeWork and being there, and I was able to tell that fun story, and that, I think that's what helped me get the job, honestly.
I think so too.
Because they were like, really? I said, yeah. So
yeah,
it was really fun, full circle. And I think God just showed me, like, are you willing to humble yourself and not think that you're so entitled to certain things, and sort of let me do the rest and just trust in me. And that's what I did, because, you know, I thought at the time I was too good for something like that, not realizing that that was such a fun opportunity, and I got to meet really, really sweet people too. So yeah, that's what led me through my employment. Then I ended up working at WeWork for some time.
Exactly. Well, that's awesome. That, I always like when you share that story. It's so cool to see where how like, God put you.
Yeah, put me in different places.
Each little place to get you to where you were at that time. It was really cool to see from my perspective. So for me, the job search.
Yeah.
God first started with humbling me, because at that time, yes, me too. So at that time, at senior year in college, I had built a reputation, and I was well known around the campus due to my academics in theater. I was on stage a lot, and I would host events in the public areas and at the campus. Yeah. You know, MC, stuff like that. So I just knew a lot of people. I knew a lot of faces, and I would say hi to a lot of people, and I felt as though, since I'd already been in a short film already, I was thinking my trajectory, you know, for being an actor, for going into Hollywood, for being famous, and, you know, I was thinking that this is what I wanted at that time.
Yeah.
It's going to be easy. It's going to be easy. It's going to be just, you know, I'm going to go from being, quote unquote, what I thought in my head, the man on campus, to being, boom, as soon as I'm out, I'm going to be the next young, up and coming, rich, famous dude.
Yeah.
So that's what I thought. God humbled me. He put me into a security guard shack from 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. for a year straight.
Yeah.
365 days at a retirement facility called Imperial Plaza at the time.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful to my uncle.
Yeah.
And may he rest
Uncle
in peace. Thank you to my Uncle John.
He's great. He helped you
me get that
come
job.
And see me every month.
He helped
that
me
job.
come and see you every month. That's so thankful for my Uncle John. He worked there. He was one of the managers at that time, and he worked in the guard shack for some time before allowing me to have that job.
We love Uncle John.
We do. We love Uncle John, man. So he paid. Well, he didn't pay me, but the company paid about $12.50 an hour, I think. And I'd be there 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. every day. And I was thinking,
was it every day? I thought it was 3 days a week.
It was part time.
Yeah,
my bad. It was like 3 to 4 days a week, depending on my shift. So That's what I would do. Sometimes I get the morning shift, but majority of the time it's 3 to 11 p.m. In between times, I'd be applying to places.
Yeah.
And it would be constant people coming in, retirees coming in who live there. I'd also be going in to door to deliver mail, to deliver food if needed, to communicate with people, make sure people are okay. If they call on the walkie-talkie, hey, you got to go check on X, Y, and Z, security guard. And things were challenging because at that time, it was good in the beginning, easy job in the beginning. COVID-19 started, and the pandemic started, and then things got tough because now I'm really having to secure the facility. I'm giving orders to say, hey, you can't come in.
You can't, And
now I'm telling moms and dads and sons and daughters and grandsons and granddaughters that they can't come see their grandparents in there. Or their moms in here.
Parent,
And it was very difficult. There was a lot of confusion, and at that time people thought that the elderly were far more at risk, so there was just a lot going on and made things really stressful. So God really humbled me, and he used me in that moment, and I got to go to church more. I got to volunteer at my local church, RVA City Church. I got to do that a lot more. I was one of the people who got to do presentations before the service would start. I would do
like announcements and stuff.
I'd do like announcements. So I really got closer to God, and really I got to learn more about Jesus Christ.
You found kind of like a mentor person,
and I found a mentor,
so.
yes. So I was so grateful for all the men and women that helped me there. They really helped build my foundation and helped me to see how to build a family and how to hold yourself accountable and, how to love and honor Jesus Christ, So they really helped me with that. Seeing older people, whether it be late 20s, early 30s, or higher, all coming in, volunteering and helping in the community. That was beautiful. So for a year I did that. Then after that year, 2020 still. No, it's not, because the year's gone by. So no, 2019 graduated. Got the job.
No, it is 2020.
That's right, 2020.
Yeah.
I ended up moving up.
Well, you quit your job.
I quit my job. So I kept applying. I got an internship. The internship didn't work out.
Yeah.
And then I kept applying, got a job at a place in Maryland. So my aunt was gracious enough to allow me to move in with her.
Yeah.
For that short period of time. And I worked for 1 week at the job that I had up there.
Yeah.
And we were so happy because I got to be we weren't long distance anymore. I didn't have to drive up and see you every month. So I got to come see you. And I got fired after a week. Fired. Let me go. After 1 week, I was a warehouse manager.
I'd say let go.
Let go. I think they realized I wasn't the right fit for them.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I was a warehouse manager at a real estate staging company. And got up there, moved up there with my aunt. She was gracious to let me in. Like I said, they let me go after a week, knowing my situation. And then I had to keep applying. I was on the grind.
Yeah.
I found another job at an electronic billboard company that would put electronic billboards on the sides of box trucks.
Yeah.
Okay? They would do whatever they wanted with the screen. It could be advertisements, could be a movie night for the kids at the whatever. That didn't work out. It was a stressful work environment, and I ended up quitting that job because things fell apart inside the office.
Well,
Right. Yeah, things just...
That's one way to put it.
Okay, I'll be real. I'll be honest. Okay, so I pray that this gentleman's doing great now. Doing great.
Yeah,
but it was a stressful situation with something he had going on in his life, and it was affecting his interactions with his employees.
Yeah, he wasn't very kind.
Right, yeah. Ultimately, he wasn't very kind. And I pray he's doing great now with his family and everything like that. But it didn't work out for me. It was unhealthy in that environment. So I ended up leaving after a week there as well. So I kept applying. Okay, now we're on to a job that I get that's more stable. It's a real estate company that is trying to sell houses. I stay there for a few months, and
they let you go too.
They let me go. Yeah. They let me go too, because it was a 90-day thing, and they're just thinking, hey.
And they were smaller too.
They were smaller, smaller boutique company, and they're like, hey, it's just not working out. We appreciate your time and your work, but it didn't work out. I got it because it was a 90-day thing, so they made a decision to say it's not working out. So I had to go back home and live with my mom.
Yes, you had to move back home.
I had to move back home after I got up there to be closer, thinking we were getting into marriage.
No, before you moved back home,
I applied to multiple jobs again. And I stayed for a little bit longer. And I applied to a place that I work at right now.
No, you did the video for the man.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to make sure that I don't want any names out there.
No, you don't have to say where it is or anything like that.
God leads me to volunteer to do camera work for free.
Yes.
And that's what I did.
Volunteer. Yeah.
That's what I did. It fostered a connection.
Yeah.
And the connection helped me to where I am today. And now
it led you to your job.
It led me to my job that I have right now.
Yeah. Because this person, he worked there.
Right, exactly.
Which is so cool.
So I've just been blessed. I've just been blessed to be here where I am right now. And I'm just grateful. I was just so grateful. So I ended up getting, after I got let go from the real estate job, I kept applying, ended up volunteering during that same time.
Yeah.
Had to go back home because I wasn't making any money.
No.
So I wanted to honor my aunt. I couldn't help pay for the situation, so I had to go. She gave me some time to stay, a little bit longer, but I left. Okay, then I'm living with my mom. I get an interview for the job that I'm working at right now, and it works out.
Yeah,
I get the job. So then I get the job. Once I get their first paycheck or first two paychecks, I buy the ring that you got on your finger right now. I went and bought it. Okay?
That was so funny. You were like, "Okay, you got the job."
Yes.
Bought that ring.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Oh my goodness. So.
Yeah. So then you buy the ring.
Then I buy the ring. Okay, and
you get hired in January.
I get hired in January.
Then you buy the ring in January.
Buy the ring in January.
Then you propose in February.
Propose in February. And then we get married
in April
17th, 2021. Because I wanted to move in and I wanted to start our life together.
Yeah, because we chose not to live together.
I was done with long distance because we chose not to live together.
I know,
and we had just the Lord.
Yeah,
because we couldn't live. With our situation.
I mean, clearly, given our history.
Given our history.
Yeah.
Then we wouldn't have honored the Lord living together, so we didn't. And I'm happy we didn't.
I was going to say something. You were saying something before that.
Oh, I just wanted to add, I also had gotten baptized right after graduation.
You did? Okay.
Yeah, so that's
you got baptized in 2019.
Yeah.
But yeah, you got the job in January, proposed in February, we were married 2 months later.
And we moved to Alexandria, Virginia. And that's where we started.
Yeah. And then funny enough, you actually provided connection for me to get a new job.
Yes, I did.
That's remote. That was remote, yeah.
That was remote at the time, absolutely.
And it was a wonderful opportunity, so.
Yeah, that worked out. So God really blessed us. And especially when we first got married, he really blessed us. And he's blessing us and giving us favor today. And we stayed in Alexandria.
Oh, I was going to say, I think getting married was also really difficult.
That's right. I don't want to skip over that. My bad.
Not like us choosing to get married. It was a lot of external factors that were making it more of a stressful thing. Especially, it was a 2-month engagement, and it was really, really tough, especially because there was still really strict COVID restrictions, and we couldn't have that many people come to the wedding. So, I mean, understandably, there is people who are upset. So that made it a bit hard. Mm-hmm. But in the end, it ended up working out. We were able to live stream the wedding, and everybody was able to see it. They were so happy. So
yeah, they really were. They really were. And we got to live stream, so I was really happy about that. At least we could do that.
But that was I'd probably say one of a big hurdle before getting married that we had to work together as a team to get through.
Yeah, we really did. That was the first big hurdle for sure. Then after that, we ended up getting married. Mm-hmm. Moving into Alexandria together, in our apartment there. And
we were 23 when we got married.
23 we got, okay, it was like we were 23.
I'm gonna count it. Our wedding certificate says 23. We were that's when we got our marriage license, but we were married at 24. We had just turned 24.
Yeah, we just turned 24 right in that month. So that was awesome. So then we get there, we move into our first apartment. Our first apartment is a beautiful starting ground. There's roaches.
Yep.
Big joints I'd never seen before.
Big things.
And big centipede-like things.
They would battle it out, the two of them, and it was disgusting.
Yeah. There were rats outside.
Outside.
Big rats in the garage.
Well, because people weren't cleaning up after their dogs.
Right.
And that brings rodents.
Right.
So.
Okay, what I'm trying to say is this. The Lord started us off
yes.
in that location where it was difficult and challenging when it was warm outside. It wasn't bugs 24/7.
It was mostly.
Okay, it was rough.
It was bad. Yeah.
It was bad. It was rough in the summertime, not as rough in the wintertime.
Yeah.
But during that time, we got to really get to know each other. And because we have been long distance, so we had to restart to get to know each other in that living environment. So we got to build our foundation there with the Lord. We found a church, and we drove into DC to do it. And even though, what I was getting to, even though it was difficult and there were challenges living in that environment, it was so much fun.
Well, because it was our first place.
That's
and
right.
It was so cute and little, and I don't know. It was just the first place that we started our family.
Yeah,
so
that was our apartment where we started our family. That's where we started.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm never gonna. There were some things about it that sure was it hard having to, try to beat the roaches.
He did. It was bad.
Didn't want to die. Them joints was
I
a
hate
different
roaches.
breed.
That's disgusting.
So I'm glad, but it was where we started.
Yeah,
so
and we got to do it together, and it was just nice. And
yeah, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, we learned a lot about our living styles.
We did. We learned it all. We started fresh.
But it really teaches you selflessness, because you're already married, then you're living together, and you have to start compromising, and you have to start putting the other person's needs before yours, and considering the other person, and because you're trying to become one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Just like
it's not your individual lives. You're trying to create a new life together.
And there was friction in the beginning, but I'm so happy we continued to work through it and figure out how to communicate with each other. To honor the Lord, which is what our goal always is.
And I had the best counselor.
Yes.
Yeah. Dr. Colbert. She was the best. She helped me through a lot of individual issues.
Yeah.
But then when we were getting married, and living together and everything, and she was such a great advocate for us, and she really gave me so much good, godly wisdom, especially if I was in the wrong. Sometimes she would just side with you and say, actually, Simone, you were in the wrong, and he was right to say that to you, and you guys actually need to talk it out. And I really appreciated her. So
yeah, I appreciate her as well.
She was the only I think therapist that I had one before her, but that didn't last long. She was the one person who really, really changed my life.
Right.
Yeah.
Dr.
We will
Colbert.
miss her. She ended up passing away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was right before we decided to move.
That's right. That was right before we decided to move.
No, it was a little after we decided to move.
That's right.
Yeah.
So we moved into that apartment right when we got married. That first apartment that was in
what was it? Yeah.
2021, right when we got married. So then after that, we're living there for a year. Okay, so 2022 rolls around.
Yeah, almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years.
Yeah.
2022 rolls around, the rent goes up.
Yeah.
And we're looking for a place to move, but it just didn't work out. And we stayed in that same apartment for another 12-year cycle.
Oh, yes, in 2021. Yeah.
Right.
So we stayed through 2022 as well.
Exactly, yeah. So 2021 we're in that apartment, all 2022 we're in that apartment.
Yeah.
Then we know going into 2023 we have to leave because the rent's going up too much, and
it was going up around all the other apartments
exactly
too,
all the other locations around within 20-30 minutes really. So then we said, okay, we're gonna go ahead and move. So we decided to move. Dr. Colbert, she ends up passing away.
Yeah.
I'm so grateful for everything that she did.
Yeah.
And we also found out soon thereafter that she had passed away, that you were pregnant with our current son who's in the other room.
I was pregnant.
You were pregnant. And he's right over
literally
right
like
now.
2 months. Like I think it was that January we were touring in apartments.
Yeah, we were touring apartments.
Yeah, then like 2 months later, found out I was pregnant.
That's right. Oh my goodness. So
and it ended up being a good thing that we were moving.
Yes. And the Lord knew this. He knew it would be there.
Yeah.
So I'm just so grateful to Jesus Christ for guiding us. The Holy Spirit always leading us, and He led us to move out.
Yeah.
And He lined it up for us to do so. So we get everything right for moving, and that's challenging. I have to drive a U-Haul. I packed the majority of the stuff.
Yeah.
By myself, and then
because I was pregnant.
Because you're pregnant.
But we had help. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have help. Your mom and dad came.
Our parents.
My mom was there, and I could have called my friends. I just didn't. I was so stressed.
Yeah.
But we ended up.
And also, we weren't telling them that I was pregnant yet.
That's right.
So
that's right.
That was actually the biggest reason, because if they were going to come, we'd have to say, "Oh, someone's pregnant." Yeah.
Yeah. So we wanted to wait to tell everybody. So then we packed it all up, got everything we needed out of our 1-bedroom apartment, and I drove the big U-Haul truck down to where we're living right now, and then you drove our car.
Yeah.
Yep. And we got here, had a moving team help us get everything out of here into the apartment that we started in here.
Yeah.
1-bedroom.
Yeah.
And it worked out. And for some reason we just couldn't unpack the boxes.
Yeah, no.
And why couldn't we get those boxes back?
Well, at first I thought we could try to make a 1-bedroom work. Because I was like, well, it'll be cheaper, and babies don't need that much stuff. Until like maybe not even halfway through the lease, like a few months after we signed on.
Yes.
I had this thought, definitely from the Holy Spirit, to look into getting a 2-bedroom.
Yes.
What would that process be like?
Right.
And I brought it up to you. You were not feeling it.
I didn't want to
at first because we had just moved in.
Oh, man.
So we made a list of non-negotiables of, we're only going to move into a 2-bedroom if X, Y, and Z worked out. Mm-hmm. And then we went to the leasing office, asked them questions, saw what they had available.
Yep.
And every single thing was checked off of our non-negotiables. And it even ended up working out because the move-in date for the unit we wanted started on the 1st of the month. So we would just go into the next month with the new rent. Seamlessly. Yeah. They actually said that was the most seamless transition she's seen.
Exactly. Going from 1-bedroom, 2-bedroom, seamless.
First of the month.
God lined that up. Absolutely.
Yeah. So it was perfect.
It was perfect because we needed to be right here.
Right here. Because we definitely needed 2 bedrooms.
Yes, we do. River and we needed.
River has a lot of stuff.
Our son. Grateful for him. And he needed that room. We found out. For sure. We found out recently that he needs that extra space to.
Yeah, he's very active.
He's active, young man. Active. So we get there. We get here.
Yeah.
And
that's September. 2023.
September 2023, that's right. And then after that,
2 months later,
we
have a baby.
Our son is here. And
I think I'd like that to be another video.
Yeah, I'll save that for another one.
Our whole birth story.
Yeah. Okay, so that's our story up to now. Now we're
here, and
now we're a young family.
We have a 10-month-old, and he's wonderful.
I'm just so excited.
All of that led to this by the grace of God.
By the grace of God. And we're just always praying and asking the Lord for guidance for our next step, our next phase. And I'm just so excited that He's brought us all the way here through where we started, what we've been through in the beginning. We weren't honoring Him, and I wasn't even with the Lord, with Jesus Christ, and yet still He covered us and still gave us grace to place us here and provide everything. Yeah,
He's provided everything.
Everything. Not a day has gone by where we've wanted for things that we
He's provided all of our needs. Yeah.
All of our needs are met because of Jesus Christ. So
Wait, before we go.
Oh, yeah.
What would you say is the greatest thing to come out of this relationship?
Greatest thing to come out of this relationship is... I would say for me personally is a loving and solid marriage to be able to raise our son or possibly any of our other children out of. I think
So like
led
that's
by
solid.
Jesus Christ.
So the best thing is the solid, like a solid marriage
A
foundation.
solid marriage foundation
Okay.
founded on Jesus Christ as the rock.
Yeah.
To be able to springboard children off of that.
That's wonderful.
That's
I
what
like
I think.
that.
So what do you think?
You giving your life to Jesus.
Oh, thank you, honey.
Because I just think that's such a big thing.
That's huge.
Because without that, this would not even be like this type of marriage. But even more so, just you loving you as an individual, wanting that for you, and you actually choosing that, and God, orchestrating all those things for you. I think that's probably one of the greatest things. Because ultimately, like, you now get to have eternal life.
Yeah, I get to go.
Yeah.
I get to go.
And everything, like, grew from that decision.
Right.
So, like, the marriage.
Yeah.
And then now we have the opportunity to, do things a certain way for our family, and we get to raise River, and he's just the best.
Really
He'd be a close second because he's the best thing ever. So, I'd say those two. You getting saved and us having River.
I love it. I love it. I love you too.
I love you.
So yeah, I'm happy we got to do another talk. I'm glad we got this all,
Yeah, this one's kind of a long one, but
saved,
it's, it's in the archives now.
It's in our archives now, so I'm very happy about that. I don't have to try to really... We need to remember anything, we pull this up.
Yeah.
So that's great. So yeah.
I think, the other videos would probably just be...
Yeah.
I'd like to do an Umber story.
Yeah.
And then whatever we're doing moving forward.
Yeah, whatever we're doing moving forward. So yeah. Okay. This is great. All right, well, good night. I guess that's how we're going to end these.
We got to go to bed.
We got to go to bed.